Hey guys, ajrmusic coming at you with a quick guitar solo lesson for Margo Price's Tennessee song. If you haven't already, check out my top 5 Margo Price guitar solos video. If you want to follow along with tabs for this lesson or any of my videos, check out my Patreon page, which I'll link to on screen and in the description. Okay, let's get started. First, a clip of the solo at full speed. Okay guys, so this song is in the key of D, and we're going to be doing a lot of our riffs in D minor pentatonic, almost all of them. We're just going to start right off with this first little lick up here at the 3rd fret of the D string. So that first part, we have just pulling off on the 3rd fret of the D string, and then you're gonna land on the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're gonna slide up into this new position. So that's sliding from the 3rd fret of the D string to the 5th fret, hammering onto the 7th fret, and then you're gonna go 5 and 7 on the G string. Okay, let's keep going. So that's the beginning of that riff starts on the 6th fret of the B string. Then you're gonna go 7, 5, 7, 5 on the G string. Now we're gonna add in this flat 5 right here. This sounds really good. I love the flat 5. 6th fret of the D string and the 7th fret of the D string. Back on 5 and 7 on the G string. So that whole beginning part sounds like this. And if you're wondering, that pretty much that whole position right there is just when you play your D minor starting on the 5th fret of the A string. So if you know that position, you should be able to figure out all those notes right in there. Okay, now the rest of the solo is going to take place up at the 10th fret in this D minor pentatonic right here. So that's the first position that most people learn, super popular, and hopefully you know that. It'll make the rest of this solo a lot easier if you do. So we're going to bend on the 12th fret of the G string and then hit this high note on the 13th fret of the B string for this next riff. So 12 and 13, you're doing it 3 times. And then the 4th time you hit that bend, you're going to kind of bring down that pre-bend and pull off to the 10th fret of the G string. One more time. Landing on our D note on the D string. Don't be afraid to bend that 10th fret of the G string. Let's keep going. So that's 10 on the D string, 12 on the A string, sliding back to 10, and then going to 8 on the A string. Those low notes are 10 on the E string. From the beginning of that riff. Now we're going to do something very similar. That whole bend phrasing is kind of repeated 3 times, and this is our second variation of the... We're going to do it like this, though. Now the high note is going to be the 10th fret of the B string. So very similar. Remember, so 3 times. So that's almost identical with that little pre-bend pull-off right there when you do the fourth bend. But here's where it changes up. We're going to do something, this is probably the hardest part right here. So what we're doing there is after we do our variation phrase, we're going to do this riff right here. We're going to go 12 on the D string. So that's 12, 10, 12 on the G string, and then you're going to bend that G string back up a whole step bend. And then you're doing that Chuck Berry thing where you're going. So that's 12, and then you're hitting the B string and the E string on the 10th fret. Now we're going to bend 13 on the B string, doing a whole step bend on 13, hitting this high note 10th fret of the E string. So let's hear it from that second variation that I was talking about, and then we'll talk about the rest of the solo. We're almost done. All right, that's not easy to do, but it's super fun to play. Finally, we're going to do the third variation of that bendy phrase, and we're going to be doing it on 13 on the B string, and then 10 on the E string. So you're doing 3 of those, and then you're doing the pre-bend down from 13 and pulling off to 10 on the B string. After you finish that pull off from 13 to 10 on the B string, you're going to bend up 12 on the G string. I'm going to play the whole thing for you now really slow so you can hear all the parts together. Here we go. 3, 4. All right, so that was Margo Price's Tennessee song. Hopefully that helped you. If you want to see what I'm doing and follow along with the tabs, check out my Patreon page, which I'll link to on screen and in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex, and this is AJR Music.